when you are 20, 30, 40, even at 80, the body responds to good food. You know how we were just talking about Hippocrates and how he talks about let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. I experience this every single day.
Hello everyone and welcome to North Star by Vegan First, the world's most interesting podcast on all things plant-based, cruelty-free and sustainable. In this series, we will be having some very deep conversations with experts and changemakers across the industry, ranging from celebrities to entrepreneurs to athletes, activists and a lot more. In today's episode, we have with us a mother and son duo, Nidhi Nahata and Devansh Nahata here with us, who run a very popular vegan restaurant in Bangalore, JustBe restaurant. Nidhi is a trained psychologist, food therapist certified not only by Cornell in the USA, but by Sharan India as well. She's a whole food plant-based entrepreneur, she's a health coach and a public speaker as well. We're really glad to have her with us. She's one of the most courageous changemakers in the hospitality industry in that she founded the country's first whole food plant-based restaurant, JustBe, in Bangalore. Devansh has a background in finance and economics and is a very passionate vegan. He's joined his mother to take the legacy forward. So Nidhi and Devansh, it is wonderful having you guys here with us. Welcome. How are you guys doing today?
Fantastic. We're very excited to be here today.
Thank you for having us.
Super, we're really excited to be in a conversation with you. So Nidhi, about 6 years ago, I think in 2017, you started the country's first whole food plant-based restaurant. Could you tell us what inspired you to do that, like probably a little ahead of its time?
I think good health.
Okay.
Good health of mine, my family, and people. I wanted to just see everybody healthy, and making right choices has inspired me to open the restaurant. And there's an amazing inspirational story because of my son, why I have JustBe today. Is one evening when he recovered from his asthma, and he said that, Mom, where do I go out to eat? I don't want to eat anything what gave me asthma, because the doctors had given up. It's a genetic, it's a Bangalore Poland's, and we are still in Bangalore, the genetics are the same, but there's no asthma today after being into a whole food plant-based lifestyle. And that actually put me into a thought, and I'm like, I have to find something in Bangalore. And when I tried to Google and search for a whole food plant-based restaurant, there were few vegan options, but nothing whole food. So let me tell you what is vegan and what's whole food. Vegan is just no meat and no dairy.
Right.
But in whole food, we use food in its whole. We don't refine any food.
Okay.
Like we'll have a fruit, orange, but not a juice.
Ah, I understand.
We don't use maida. It's an oil-free kitchen. We use no oil in our kitchen. We use no maida. We use no sugar. We use dates and apricots and raisins and jaggery and some few things if we need to. We try to avoid even jaggery. So it's completely designed. The food is designed for people's health. And when I changed this into this lifestyle after attending Sharan retreat for 21 days and came back, changed my kitchen, and we just saw everybody's health improving. My cholesterol's lowered, my migraine went away, which I was suffering since I was 18.
Wow.
And rosacea, had a very, very severe skin allergy. I mean, and I just accepted that. And that's what usually people do, is just, अच्छा, BP तो अब age हो रहा है तो अब आएगा ही, right? Sugar तो बस, it's a part and parcel of a lifestyle today.
Yeah.
But what food can do, and what magic food did, what I witnessed there and I witnessed every single day today, inspires me to just go on.
That's amazing. Wonderful hearing about how it originally started. So Nidhi, when you were starting JustBe in 2017, did you think back then that the whole food plant-based module would be successful? And like, did you not have this thing that wouldn't people like miss the oil?
No oil is something that was the biggest challenge for me. That how will I convert everything into an oil-free food and oil-free kitchen? And I did a lot of experiments. That was sure that I'm not going to serve oil. But the challenge was how will I convert everything oil-free?
Okay.
And I did it. It's been 5 years and I have audience coming and eating. So maybe I'm doing a good job.
So back then, did you think that it would be as successful as it is today?
I just jumped into the sea and learned how to swim.
Okay, so coming to the whole mother and son bond out here, could you tell us a little bit about Devansh? Like, was he vegan since the beginning, or did he gradually transition into veganism? And how is it like working with your son?
So when I was transitioning to this lifestyle, whole food plant-based, Dave was in the boarding school. And when he came back in the holidays and he's like, what's happening in this house? Where do I fit? You know, like, I feel like I'm an alien here. And we would only talk about good health, we're talking about animal cruelty, we're talking about, and we're trying subtly to influence him. Nothing worked. Just nothing worked. And he's like, you know what, don't talk to me. I need to go back to my boarding school. वहाँ पे खाने में मैं adjust कर रहा हूँ, mom. You know, like, don't talk about this. I would say, come, let's see a documentary together. Like, I didn't want to force it.
At that
And he was
time,
like,
good food was a problem. Healthy food was not in question.
he's like, Dick, like, don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And then he came back after his 12th, he came back home for a pretty long time, but he was very clear that he doesn't want to choose this path at all because he needs to go to US. He was quite nervous about going there to a new country, and food was not a question again there. COVID, which brought him here, and then he stayed with us for 1 long year. So I think in 2021 he turned vegan.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank
2 years
you.
now.
And now I can just very proudly say that the whole family is together and we walk the path together, which we feel very, very powerful. And my oldest son's wife also turned a vegan the day she got engaged. So I think all 5 of us are together and doing, spreading this in our own way. And working with Dave has been such an pleasure. Both my sons, my older one has joined, my husband, and Dave has joined
You.
me. I would say Dave has joined JustBe. And I'm a very proud mother.
And Devansh, or Dev, if I may call you so.
Sure, please.
So, how has the journey been for you? How is it like running the business with family, and like how do you actually separate the personal and the professional relations?
For us, the balance is very easy. Why I say that is because we're 24 hours working. So that mode doesn't switch, and the only time that it's challenging is when we're sitting at the dining table together. So that's when she becomes my mother of eat your food, eat your vegetables properly. Like that, that policing is a little difficult, but otherwise I think we've really blended our personalities and complemented each other really, really well.
So I think I really enjoy working with Dave, and I'll still be a mom at the dining table, so it doesn't change.
Nidhi, could you tell us a little bit about the challenges you had faced through your journey starting the first whole food plant-based restaurant in the country, and a little bit about how you overcame them?
The first one was like, we don't come from this hospitality industry, right? हमें कुछ नहीं आता है. So when my husband said, तुम कैसे करोगी? I said, खाना ही तो बनाना है. खाना खिला दूंगी घर में इतने लोगों का वहाँ. A little more people, it's
Yeah.
okay. I didn't know till I jumped into the sea to know that, oh my God, this is hard. But it's been interesting though. The biggest challenge was that I was trying to supply something which was not in demand. And that's against any business, right? And against any industry. Like, you always try to make something which is in demand.
Right.
Vegan was just, people are just getting to know, people are just converting into a vegan lifestyle. But whole food plant-based. So when we had consultants, they would take Tarun, my husband, aside and say that, "Sir, आप क्यों पैसे invest कर रहे हैं? ये नहीं चलने वाला है."
Way to go proving them wrong.
Oh, I love it. When I see them now, I'm like, yeah, I'm still there, I'm still learning. But yeah, and then we had even chefs, they were like, okay, fine, ma'am, no meat, no dairy. Okay, so no honey, we can put honey, is very healthy. I'm like, no, it's an animal product. Ma'am, cheese nahi, butter nahi, these are all which enhances the food taste, right? हम हर खाने में थोड़ा बटर को ब्रश कर देते हैं because people love the butter taste.
Right.
Right? And I'm like, no. मैम ऑयल दे दीजिए, शुगर दे दीजिए, शुगर भी नहीं, और खाना कैसे बनाया? Why are we cooking? For whom are we cooking? मैम कौन खाना खाने आएगा? Like these are like questions from all my chefs and staff who are working there. So we use our own strategy how to like overcome. I did a lot of cooking classes.
Alright.
Like you won't believe, I would, before the restaurant opened, even 5 people, you know, like for their engagement and entertainment, people like, अच्छा कुछ नया हो रहा है, निधि नाहटा को बुला लेते हैं, cooking class, 5 ladies, a kitty
Okay.
party, and I'm like, नहीं, मैं जाऊँगी. I said, it doesn't matter, I will go and do a cooking show there. I will go and do a talk there.
And since the very beginning, you were only like advocating for a whole food plant-based.
Yes, whole food plant-based.
So, what really, according to you, sets your restaurant apart from the other vegan restaurants in Bangalore? And like, would you call Bangalore a vegan-friendly city?
So when one turns vegan,
Hmm.
you're taking care of the animals and you're taking care of the planet,
Right.
right? And what we really neglect is our body,
Right.
because vegan food can be junk.
Correct.
Everything can be fried, you can use maida, you can load it with sugar, but then we're neglecting taking care of ourselves, and that's not fair.
Right. And in Bangalore, so as you were mentioning, one of the things that really sets you guys apart is the fact that you all are whole food plant-based and not just like...
Not just vegan.
Right. So do you find that a lot of non-vegans visit your restaurant?
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
We have only non-vegans coming.
Wow.
A
That
lot.
is amazing.
And we, even in our social media, we don't really talk about vegan and plant-based. We talk about healthy food because vegans know us.
Right.
They'll anyways come,
Yeah.
right? And they love our food. They love us a lot. So they'll be there. But we have a lot of non-vegans. We have a lot of non-vegetarians too coming. And I feel so satisfied. And you know,
That's wonderful.
that food what I'm trying to make, serve, is bringing them back.
That's amazing. Yeah. Again,
Yeah.
coming back to the product speaking for itself.
Exactly.
So, Devansh, like since you generally are in charge of all the execution bits of it, and as Nidhi mentioned, you're like the brains, well, she's the heart. So, could you help us understand how do you exactly source your ingredients, and how do you ensure that they're ethically sourced and sustainably sourced?
So at JustBe for us, it's very seasonally organic, and
Okay.
as whatever comes available in terms of organic produce, we definitely opt to purchase that. And secondly, we also encourage and also help by shopping from a lot of local vendors who are
Okay.
in and around the markets, who are in different areas, and purchase produce from them on a regular basis. And above all, we always purchase, like, there are so many more brands and companies that are coming up with helping us with vegan ingredients
Okay.
that contribute to making the complete dish. So that has been, I think this is somewhat of a structure of how we can ensure that it's good quality, and also the sourcing of, or the journey of this product is ethical and sustainable.
So he started doing flea markets at
Wow.
JustBe, and
We had
So-
about, I think we had about, so
last year, 1 year, we fifth year.
fifth year anniversary special, we did a flea market where we had about, I think, 60 brands, and a lot of brands launched themselves at the flea market, where we have had about 800 to 1,000 people coming in across 2 days, and it was a festival of sorts where people came in. They celebrated with activities like hand wax molding to pottery making to everything that comes to just under the umbrella of vegan. So it brought made everyone feel very included,
Yeah.
and it just brought the community spirit, enhanced the strength that the entire community holds together.
So Devansh, as you were just talking about how the communities help, could you actually, both of you for that matter, could you help us understand how the communities literally contributed to the success of your restaurant? And a little more about how you guys have built such a loyal customer base.
Talking about the vegan community, I think this is one of the most supportive communities that I think we both have come across, and they've definitely been a good support and uplifters, where they have, like, from WhatsApp groups to like recommending JustBe, to helping people finding options and connecting them to us, or to showing up at events. From like a recent event that we hosted, a concert by Vasu Dixit and Vineet Vincent, which was towards a cause of alternative farming. Everyone showed up after the march. So it's a very tight knit group and a very supportive group that has contributed a good share to helping us spread the word.
I think I agree out here because the first time I visited your restaurant was after like being bombarded by a ton of messages across multiple groups that this place is insane. You should definitely go. Just go there. They have this event, and I think there were a couple of messages about certain sessions or talks that you were hosting about health aspects as well. And then finally one day gave it a visit, and I've never been happier since.
The last 5 years, to the clients whom I spoke to in 2017,
Yeah.
I see them even today. Nothing can be more gratifying. Because they come here every week, and post-COVID there were people who came in, Nidhi, we didn't go anywhere, but we wanted to come to JustBe because I did cooking shows.
Yeah.
They knew what I cook, and they knew that I live there. I'm in the kitchen every day. So they were so assured, and just worth it. Yeah. It's just worth doing what we do.
And I think what we've seen is people wanting to, they're coming, they're taking their family, friends around as though it's their own restaurant.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
Giving a tour. Like it's an old home,
Yeah.
80-year-old home, JustBe, and they would be like taking them to, this is their studio, this is their dining room, this is their living room. We've named it like that.
Okay.
And it's such a pleasure that people feel at home there.
And
It's
the most-
almost as if the customer gets a sense of ownership, like sort of.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think one of the most rewarding moments are when like there is a week that goes by, and say on a Sunday, where there are families coming in and they say that JustBe is the only place that we go out to eat at, and otherwise we don't go out.
We have a lot of people who would say that. And
It's very rewarding and satisfying to know that yes, it's driving that impact that we want to create.
That's amazing, the kind of customer loyalty that you all have built with JustBe. If there are any people in our audience who would be probably interested to start something similar of their own because of their love for the cause, because of their passion for the movement possibly. So is there any particular piece of advice that you would want to give them? In fact, no, both of you.
yeah, for me, I would say that one needs to believe in what you're doing. I just had a belief that it's whole food, plant-based way or no other way. I just believed that. The toughest guy
Right.
in my family also came with this fancy. So, and I feel that, when it's passion driven,
Yeah.
your heart is there. When you do something from your heart, it touches people. It touches the universe. And the
Right.
universe supports you,
Right.
right? Like for me, I didn't want to go the conventional way of reducing my cholesterol with medication.
Okay.
And I was searching and searching and searching, and कहते हैं ना कि जब बहुत शिद्दत से कोई चीज़ हम मांगते हैं
Right.
तो कायनात लग जाती है, डायलॉग कायनात लग जाती है वो पूरा करने के लिए. And that's what happened with me. I found Sharon, I found Dr. Nandita Shah, I found through them I found whole food plant based, and today I've become an advocate for whole food plant based, and I say that I'm doing his work. I'm doing no one's work. I'm doing his work because our food is natural.
Right.
When we don't refine food, we're giving in the natural way.
Absolutely.
So,
And it all started with your belief.
And it just started. So when we believe in something, and there's no substitute to hard work.
Well, I don't think there is any better way to say this. I think as any entrepreneur or a business owner, we have to fit in everyone's shoes before we put someone else in those shoes. So you have to be prepared to do everything yourself. You have to be prepared to know how each department functions, or putting your own hands, getting them dirty, and bringing some skin
I
in the
have
game.
to say that when they've joined, came back from US, finished his graduation from his room for 1 year,
Yeah.
our manager had left.
Okay.
So when he came in, I didn't want him to join as a boss there.
Okay.
As a management. अब बेटा वो नहीं, आप संभाल लो ये वाला जब तक कोई नहीं मिलता है. And we didn't find any.
Okay.
Because that's what we believe, that you need to get hands on to understand your industry.
Right.
There's nobody else who is. So initially I would serve, I would clean plates, I would be in the kitchen cooking, and then Dave took on.
Yeah, I think as the family grew, and that's when we understand, yes, there is we have to definitely make a guest happy, whoever is coming in, but it's also about who is making, who is serving, and who is actually making everything possible to bring that final product out, and what makes them happy, and how can we make their life easy. Yeah, it goes all around. I think you need to, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, be and walk a mile in everyone's shoes, and then hold the mantle to guide everyone forward. And that is something that I would say, and nothing better than what she said. There's no alternative to hard work. It's pure hard work.
Awesome. So you have to get your hands dirty, no alternative to that. And
100%.
sometimes in the kitchen, quite literally.
Yeah.
No, and I think when the team sees you working hard and just being there and doing everything, nobody shies away. Right? It really motivates them. Like when they see us both working, like we are there midnight, early morning, we get a message, chef's not coming, we both are there early morning. Nobody has an option to say कि हम नहीं कर सकते हैं, वो attitude ही नहीं आता, because हम दोनों हर चीज कर सकते हैं. The team also has that attitude, मैम हो जाएगा. That's what we need to bring, right?
Yeah.
So just
that
be there.
positivity.
Yeah.
Within the team, हाँ वो go getting attitude आपसे आपकी team तक spread होता है.
Amazing. So this is actually a question I'd like to ask to both of you individually. So let's start by asking you first. So could you share an ultra memorable experience of yours, something that's left you with a positive impact, and another thing that's left you with probably a negative impact?
So the most amazing compliment which I think that I have absorbed is by
Pradeep
Neil, when he came with Aindrita. They are the South K actress and actor, and Digant, and he came with them just 2 years back, and that's the first time when I met them. So when he came here in 2017, I think, and he asked, this is Wholefood? He's a director. Okay, and I want to meet the owner, and somehow I couldn't meet. So during that dinner time with them, and he says, I want to meet you, that when I first time entered JustBe in 2017, am I in 2027? This is future food. Who knows about Wholefood plant-based in India? It's not even there in London. He stays a lot in London. He's coming in there. I'm like, really? I just love that. So that's I can never forget, and I'm very thankful that yes, we got the future in present.
Yeah.
And I think what's negative is when people come and say, ये बिरयानी है? ऐसा कोई बिरयानी होता है? Please इसको बिरयानी मत बोलिए. Because there's no chicken or mutton or whatever, or this इतना घृष्ट होता है वो घी and oil से and things से, इतना dry है. And then I explain to them, and I take them through a journey of story of a biryani. And अच्छा, नहीं इतना भी बुरा नहीं है, शायद मैं option ही नहीं देती हूँ. But yeah, when negative is when my food is a little criticized and people don't understand it.
Okay.
So that's it, yeah. Right?
So yeah, I think a very ultra positive experience is when I think very recently it happened, and it keeps repeatedly happening, is when we have food safety inspectors for the license renewals and health inspectors coming in. They try really hard. They come in, they'll check everywhere in the kitchen. They try to find first the grease. There's no oil, so there's no grease. Then contamination and other things. So they search for meat, milk, and all the other obvious ingredients, which there is nothing. So then they were very pleasantly surprised, and what we've seen is through years and through time, they've gotten a very positive perception of how the kind of food that we are serving. And a lot of them have become regular customers, from regular guests with us. Then we've made, like, the recent food inspector, he tried and he couldn't believe it. He's like, you're lying to me. He again checked the kitchen and he's like, this is made without oil, like the bread is made without maida. The aloo masala for our signature matunga toast is made without oil. The perception changes and the appreciation increases for the food. So that has been an extremely positive experience for me, I feel. So it goes from the inside of the government as well. So nothing better than that. A negative would be that through the years, I think from 2017, from when we kept coming through vacations, and even now, we see a lot of people that come in, they'll read through the menu and they're like, you have no dairy? Like, no meat, no meat. Then how do you make food? And then we explain, this is the food, at least give it a try. Like, no, we want to have meat and dairy and everything, so they'll walk out. And I think a memorable one was that we of course have a very aesthetic ambience, and there's a couple that hosted a very grand party. They got like a decoration done for just for 2 people, and then they ordered broccoli soup, almond broccoli soup, and then they had their soup, they enjoyed it, and they're like, okay, we'll go for dinner somewhere else. I'm like, okay, fine. There is a certain conversion period or transitioning period that needs to be met. So we're like, okay, everyone has their own journey, and sooner or later than never.
So, Nidhi, what are your future plans for JustBe? Do you have any particular expansion in mind or any new additions?
Menu to roj naya aata hai. So menu to we keep doing weekly and things, but this 2023, when we complete 6 years, we're going to launch our menu in style. And you need to travel. Vegan First has to travel to witness, what we're going to do, because this is going to be one of the most exclusive menu which people would have seen, and I'm super excited because we're working so hard on it, and it's a surprise, so I'm not going to talk much about it. And about expansion, to be honest, I had never planned, because this is what I can do, and I can monitor, and I can be in person. I can't be, and I don't want any adulteration or any substitute, or people compromising when I give it out for franchisees, or even if you open more brands. I don't know if I will have the bandwidth.
Okay.
But after Dave has joined in, I have I'm still waiting, looking forward to what his plans are. I'm so happy if he can take it forward.
Definitely.
And it's all up to him now about the expansion.
I think we really want to be across India on a map and cross off our bucket list of where to be for JustBe. So yeah, that is something that is definitely from a futuristic standpoint, that is on the horizon for us, yes.
So guys, one question I am very curious about. So between the two of you, like we had already discussed, and you were telling us about how you're more of the heart and the creative side of the operation, and you're more of the brain and the analytical side of the operation. So between the two of you, how do we go about with the recipe development and innovations to the menu, and how does this go about?
So I think this journey has made me an expert to make any recipe, not non-vegetarian, because I don't, I've always been a vegetarian, so I don't know how non-vegetarian food tastes.
Yeah.
But any recipe into the most healthiest way we can eat.
Okay.
Removing oil, maida, refined products. And Dave is my guinea pig.
And my contribution to this entire process is just tasting. I love it.
Nice.
And he's critical. Jaldi se kuch pasand hi nahi aata, He doesn't really. It's a good point, and sometimes it's like very exhausting too. But yeah, so I do that, and
I think the chief tasting officer has a very nice acronym to it.
Very nice. Yeah, definitely, always. That's going on in my visiting card.
Good stuff. Between the two of you, again, over the course of your past almost 6 years, I would say now,
Yeah.
I really want to hear some stories of your customer success, as it is generally called for you. It's more like how have you created that tangible impact, and how have people's lives become better as a result of it?
So a very interesting story I would just share is of Tarun, my husband's friend, Chef Anthony. So actually we've been very fortunate to have Chef Anthony Huang, who has been the executive chef in many hotels like Sheraton and JW and
Yes.
Hilton, and I think all of those. And in 2017 he just rejected vegan food. Don't even come next to me. I eat everything what crawls. I don't know how to make your kind of food. And in 2019 is when he saw that I'm so passionate, and I'm like still. When I met him
Yeah.
in a common party, and he says your restaurant is still running. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, okay, fine. So he was a little meherban, He just said, okay, fine, I'll visit. Like even that took a month to visit, and I think when he came in, and so with his guidance,
Yeah.
I think.
And even the transformation that he felt when, in terms of, he actually came in and he sent his team members who were helping us, and like, please check what are they putting in the food. And then I think after a lot of tries, inspections and whatnot, he's like, do you put medicine in your food? Because his sugars dropped, and he saw tangible results personally, and that's when he has become a mentor, and I think guiding light, and a very strong support system as well.
He has been a guiding light to us, and I think when you see any menu, I am a home cook, so I know how to convert any recipe, vegetarian into this. I don't know non-vegetarian food taste. How does it taste? So anything vegetarian, how do we convert it into a healthiest whole food plant-based? I'm an expert. Just give me
Awesome.
any recipe. But Chef Anthony helps me even the non-vegan, the non-vegetarian dishes. How do we, Nidhi, this is what we need to bring? Okay, I'll do that. So he's been a very great mentor, and I think after he has been with us, we have seen JustBe going
100%.
100% up.
Awesome. So I like how you were mentioning that you're practically an expert when it comes to making the healthiest version of a particular vegetarian dish. And Chef Anthony's help has allowed JustBe to also introduce a few versions of non-vegetarian dishes done in the healthiest
And multiple
fashion.
flavors as well, like
Yeah.
a different gamut of flavors completely.
So now this is the question again. I'm going to individually ask both of you. What is your favorite dish to personally consume?
Mine, Matunga toast and chapati toast. So Matunga toast is vada pav. Because I don't fry and things, so we call it Matunga toast.
Okay.
And pav bhaji ko chapati toast.
Okay.
I'm a Mumbaiite, right? Born and brought up here. A Mumbai flavor chahiye, right?
Right.
But I had to convert that into the most healthiest form, and how I brought it in. And actually, I can eat that every day.
Wow.
And
What about you?
I think for me it'll be hands down the mac and cheese. I think through time it has always been from while studying abroad and coming back, and it has
Desi
been-
and Videshi.
It's so comforting. It's like it's very comfort food. Yeah.
And you know the interesting part about the mac and cheese? We make our sauce with pumpkin.
Okay.
Did you know?
No, I did not know that.
It's pretending.
Today I learned.
But,
I have to reconsider my.
this is what I do, right? People don't even get to know that. Okay, fine. How do I substitute the sauce and things? So that becomes interesting. I love
Wonderful.
doing that.
And everything is made in house, from the Parmesan cheese to the sauce that we make, and to the process, and everything is just made in house. So makes it all the more comforting.
Amazing. Okay, so I'm sure you have a lot of these stories tucked behind your sleeves, but just a few ones that come to your mind. Could you help our audience with some really interesting anecdotes about stuff that your guests have experienced in terms of some impact in their life, some change they've observed tangibly?
Many. I can go on. But to start with, I want to speak about my grandma, my nani.
Okay.
So when I turned into whole food plant-based, and just after a couple of months she came to stay with me, and she was 80 then. She's
Okay.
no more today, but she was 80 then in 2016, end of the
Okay.
of the year. And she came and I told her, I explained, I wanted to serve this food. You know how Marwadis are with ghee and all of that was a little challenging for me, but I was her favorite granddaughter. So she would listen to me. And she did. Actually, she did listen to me. And one day she's asking me, तुम खाने में क्या डालती हो? She would enter the kitchen and see what are we doing. I was alone at home that time. And she's saying, मेरे को एक बात बोलना है. Like, this is like amazing, okay? You know, she would carry a stick because she had lost balance, she had asthma. She was sleeping well in the night, and she was also, you know, walking well, right? And she said, I'm not losing my balance.
Wow.
At the age of 80,
And you said 15 days.
in 15 days, she says, I feel stronger. Like if the maid would go to her, don't, मैं चल सकती हूँ. Like with this thing, and the confidence she got, I think it was great testimony for me to watch. That it's not when you are 20, 30, 40, even at 80 the body responds to good food. You know how he was just talking about hypocrites and how he talks about let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. I experience this every single day. And in our house we don't take medicines now, we don't need it. You know, like
Any
amazing.
medicine, like across the family.
Across the family, sometimes when it's very high fever because of viral and things, but I think maybe one paracetamol and we don't, like we recover very fast. Our energy levels, like I don't think my energy levels were like this even when I was 20, like what I experienced today. And we feel our immunity is better. Like we can work for 15 hours, 16 hours, like non-stop we can go on. It's amazing what we experience. For example, this a client came and he is also Tarun's friend, our common friend, and BP, sugar, depression, heart problem, so many things, alcohol, like list of things.
Okay.
He was there with this for 1 month and he says, I can't believe what I'm feeling. In 1 year, the doctor has taken him off medications. Today he's in no medication, just on no medication.
Amazing.
We had this guy working at the cafe, young boy, 24.
Okay.
Cholesterol high, Uttarakhand se, Pankaj. BP shot up and he fainted
While working.
Okay. And then he came and the doctor said BP high hai, दवाई लेनी है. And he came to me and he says, ma'am, मैं दवाई के बिना मुझे नहीं लेना, आप मेरे को help करेंगे? I said, but you won't leave your non-vegetarian food.
Yeah.
How can I help you? आपको तो वो घी वाला, बटर वाला नहीं, मलाई वाला दूध चाहिए. नहीं ma'am, I will do it. In 3 days, his BP became normal. In 6 months, he lost weight, his cholesterol was better. The cholesterol takes longer to reduce, but he was feeling fantastic. And now, you know, Kanikraj has come here, who's helping me here.
Yeah.
Even his BP, it just shot up, he's feeling giddy. And he's like, nahi ma'am, main medicine nahi lega. Completely, he's still not on to completely whole food plant-based, but he is vegan, he's reduced his oil, not completely given, and vegan भी 100% नहीं है, 80% में BP की दवाई नहीं चाहिए. He doesn't need, even in 80%, he doesn't need the medication. So, you know guys, I just want to say that if you're looking at health, and if you want health, it is whole food plant-based. It's nothing about vegan, no taboos. It's only about natural food. Eat what nature has designed for us. It's only about that.
Awesome. And I think after learning from your past success stories, the next and I think the most important question we generally ask everyone who comes on our podcast is, what is your North Star? So we've already heard a lot about what you've done so far. Now we want to hear about what you intend to do.
North Star. I think when I see 100 whole food plant-based restaurants in India, anybody opens. I don't know if it's Dave or anybody. That day I will feel that me starting JustBe was worth putting my whole life into this.
Wonderful.
And for me, I think we're all contributing in a part of a mission that's way beyond us. And just that the fact of by serving whole food, plant-based food, we're contributing to three things. There's the health of the person consuming it, that is any guest that consumes food from JustBe, stopping or reducing animal cruelty in our own way, in our own measures, and also building a sustainable environment for the future. That is something that I feel couldn't get better than this.
So like one plate,
Yeah.
anybody has one meal at JustBe, this is what
Give
they
back.
have already contributed with one meal. Whether knowing, unknowingly, you have contributed.
Yeah.
Your own health, to the planet's health, and to
Yes.
saving animals.
Animals, yes.
So thank you very much, both of you. It was absolutely amazing having you over and these marvelous conversations we've had. Okay, so thank you very much, both of you, for sharing your thoughts and experiences with our audience. I'm sure a lot of people in our audience have gained valuable insights into the plant-based space and particularly into the hospitality industry. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you for having us.
Signing off with a lot of sustainable love. We'll see you soon in the next episode. Till then, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your comments below. Ciao for now.